When you talk about starting to live with less, it often begins with your stuff. The first thing that comes to mind is your stuff. In this video, I want to share with you a process that would help you figure out how to get started living with less stuff. You maybe clicked on this video because you feel like you have too much stuff throughout your entire house. And I felt that way at the beginning of my decluttering journey and my minimalism journey. In fact, at the beginning, I said this. I want to say I'm going to start. I don't even know where to start. Like, I don't know where to start. I want someone to come here and tell me how to do this. I don't know how to do this. I didn't know how to start. I didn't know what to do. And thinking back in those first 2 months, the way that I felt, and that I needed guidance and I needed support. I ended up getting it from you guys on this channel. Your supportive comments, your emails, your feedback, your ideas, they motivated me and they helped me to figure out how to do it. And I was overwhelmed with stuff. And now when I think back on that time, I wanted to come up with something that might help someone feeling that same pressure and anxiety of getting rid of stuff, or how to even start living with less. Other things like how you spend money, your relationship with food, your relationship with your spouse, your children, your friends, your family, your mind, the way you think, your mindset, all of that comes secondary towards decluttering your stuff and getting the physical things you look at every day in an order that makes you happy. Living with less stuff physically, owning less stuff, that you feel a certain joy in your home that you didn't feel before you journeyed down the path of living with less. If you're new here, my name is Erica with ericalucasloves.com, where I'm supporting you with materials and guidance for living with less one day at a time. The process. The first step is to prioritize your rooms. If you are thinking about your whole entire house, you're getting rid of things from every room in your house, then this is the process for you. So step one is to list your rooms, all of them, just write them down, every room, even the ones that you don't think you're going to declutter. Write the room down, or the area, their space, garage, a car shed. What's a car shed? I don't know. A shed, a carport is what I was thinking of. Carport, shed. It might even be a space in your backyard. There might be an area of your backyard where you just have things built, piled, that you want to deal with. Write that space down. So once you've written all the spaces down, all the areas in the rooms that you want, that you have in your home, that's your whole house, you're going to start to prioritize the order in which you're going to declutter the rooms. So you want to assign a score to each one of the rooms, a 3, 2, 1, or a 0. A 0 is where you don't feel like you are going to declutter that room at all. Give those a 0. Ones are ones that aren't going to take very much time at all, maybe a day or less. There's not a lot to do in there. You could maybe declutter a couple of things in an hour, a couple hours, and that room would be finished in your mind. And then keep going up the scale for 2s and 3s. 3s are the ones that are going to take you longer time, that are time intensive, they're labor intensive. They're going to have some stuff in there that you're going to have to get to a donation center. You're going to have to trash properly because you can't put it in the trash. Things like that. Those are 3s. Once you've got your score assigned to every room, group them all together. So now rewrite your list with all your 3s and your 2s and your 1s and your 0s. And what you're going to do is see which parts of your house are clutter traps. If you've got your family room and your dining room, both as 3s, and they're connected areas of your house, that's probably a high traffic area where you're dumping stuff. If all of your bedrooms are 3s, that's where you're hiding stuff. So you'll start to see a pattern maybe of traffic flow in your house in relation to their scores. After you've got them grouped in the 4 buckets, there's a psychology with starting with the hardest. And it involves getting the hardest parts, or your 3s, of your whole house declutter done first to boost your productivity and boost your confidence and get that ball rolling. Because as that ball's rolling, it's going to be easier to get it to the end. It's going to be easier to declutter a 2 than it is to declutter a 3. And once you get down to your ones and zeros, you're going to feel amazing. And you might revisit those zeros after you've gone through this process of living with less. You might revisit those zeros as potential ones of things that, you know, you didn't think you'd want to get rid of. But now that you spent this time purging the rest of your house, you want to revisit those zeros. So the last step is to prioritize your threes. Prioritize your twos. And what I mean by that is choose which of the three is the hardest. Of all your threes, choose which one is the hardest and start with that one. And then the second one, and then the third one, and so on. And you're going to rewrite your list. So it is a chronological game plan of how you're going to go through your house. And I wouldn't anticipate that this would take a day, a week, maybe not even a month. This took me 6 months. Okay. I can't tell you how long it's going to take for you. If you have a lot of things, it's going to take longer. There may be a lot of emotions that need to be processed in a certain room or a certain category. Okay. So once you've got your chronological game plan of where you're going to be in your house as you declutter, figure out within each one of those rooms what you can do to declutter. And that's the how that comes in. So you did the where, and now you're doing the how within each room. The how, and I'll pick on kitchen. The how is, how do I even do my kitchen? How do I declutter my kitchen? Kitchen is actually one area in my house that has maintained minimalism without an effort. I love my kitchen. In the kitchen, what you're going to want to think about are the categories. Okay. Spices. How do I declutter spices? Dishes. How many dishes should I have? Is there a right number of dishes? Is there a right number of bowls? Why do I need 2 toasters? Why am I hanging on to a broken microwave? Things like that. So when you're doing kitchen, you have to consider anything else in your house that you have for kitchen. Like me, I have some kitchen stuff in my crawl space still, but I know I don't need it because I've been living without it for 2.5 years. I just haven't unearthed the box in my crawl space yet. Because I too am still on this journey of decluttering, but I am now down to the storage spaces of my house, the hidden clutter. There's a space under my house, there's a shed and an attic. The rest of my whole house has been decluttered, and I'm just working on those final storage areas. How many forks should I have? What kitchen utensils are the essentials? Do I have things that I don't use? These are all the how questions that you want to work through as you're decluttering the kitchen, for example. And you might need a little help of figuring out the hows, because everybody's kitchen is different, right? No 2 kitchens are the same, like snowflakes. I have given you a workbook. It's on my website. You can get it. It is a whole house declutter workbook that will take you through the where and the how of each of these things that I'm talking about. It's version 2 that's on the website now. If you downloaded version 1, I have sent you a follow-up email with version 2 automatically. Version 2 is more robust. It gives you the how. Version 1 really addressed the where, helped you prioritize which rooms in your house to start with. Version 2 is adding a layer. Version 2 is the how. How do I start in the kitchen? How do I start in my bedroom? How do I start in my closet? How do I start in my linen closet? And so it's a more comprehensive workbook with action items for each of your rooms. You can just have it. It's available for free. And the workbook now will walk you through the where in your house you should start, but also give you some guidance on how to approach your room for decluttering, questions to ask yourself, some logistics to think about. And I tossed in some things that I remembered from a long way that helped me. Thank you for watching. Here's the latest video.